Park niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a road.
Yeah, now, so you in Hampton. You came up with the idea to go to Hampton on your own. You know, you pitched it to your lawyer. He agreed that's a good idea. I want to ask about who you met in Hampton, but then I want to go back and see what you did with that case, though. But when you was in Hampton, did you meet any lifetime friends? When people go to college, they say you meet lifetime friends. Did you meet anybody in Hampton?
To be honest with you, man, college saved my life because I was so immersed in the street world that my whole network was people who I could get in trouble with, who I would get in trouble with, right? But when I got to Hampton, because I had that early beginning in Catholic school and good school, I didn't look down on them for being school kids and shit. You know what I mean? Like, because really, that's what I was supposed to be until I decided to take a detour. You know what I mean? So I assimilated. Well, I wouldn't say assimilated, but I was very accepting of those dudes, right? And funny story, when I first got there, I was registering for class, and some dudes from Queens who had seen, I didn't know them, but they knew me from like the PAL, you know, Police Athletic League and all that. They were whispering, they thought I was down there on the run and shit. You know what I mean? So that tells you how they thought about me. You know what I mean? But I met the dude who brought me back to DC was Curtis Malone. DC Assault. He introduced me to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Kirk. You know, Kirk, he coming to see us, man. Shout out to Kirk. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, that was my man. He was like 18. And keep in mind, I was a 22-year-old freshman. So not only was I more advanced than my peers because of age, but because of experiences as well. So I was like a man amongst boys almost, you know what I mean? But man, Kurt introduced me to go-go music and all that. He used to be in my BM, cranking Chuck. It was Run Joe and all that, you know what I mean? And Salt and Pepper had a song that had the go-go beat, and he used to crank that too. Kurt was DC through and through, but even though he's from Palmer Park, but he originally from Northwest up there by the Ibex.
Okay.
He done had me in the Ibex, the Metro Club, the Masonic Temple, the Black Hole.
You took a tour.
Oh yeah, man. Kurt had me everywhere. What was that joint in Maryland on Mondays? The Classics? No,
the
Classics.
Yeah, Monday night, right? Yeah.
The chapter, all that. So I know that DC, right? Okay. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the heyday. And also, you know, he used to wear the little Madness hats with the block letters and all that.
Everybody wore the Madness hats.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, so I was here. I was here for all of that. He brought me back to DC. And
speaking of Madness, before you finish, started the Urban Apparel. Ain't no Call Canal, ain't no motherfucking Rockaway, no FUBU. They started Urban Apparel, man. They go ahead and carry on.
Cool.
Let me get that on file.
You might have me on that one. You know I'm going to go do my research.
Do your research. Go ask Russ, Uncle Russ. He know all them people. Go ahead. Go ahead and shoot.
Yeah, but and then also Kurt had me back up this way. And then another brother, Malik, took me to Baltimore.
Malik, my man, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Malik, rest in peace, man.
Yeah,
rest in peace, Malik, man. My man, King Goody, best friend.
We used to call him Swank, right? And he brought me back to Baltimore. So I was rocking with Curtis up here in D.C. and Malik over in Baltimore. When I went to Hampton, I had no intentions of doing anything but just laying low and beating the case. But all it took was a year, not even, because by 4th of July, 1987, because I started school in 86. So 4th of July in 1987, I caught a case here in D.C., and every case is like a Fed case in this town. You know what I mean? Look,
and that's actually a misconception. Everybody from out of D.C. say that because we had our Superior Court, where that's where our Lawton prisons went at.
Okay.
But yes, we had a lot of prison institutions, so they assume all our prisoners are going there. But we had a Superior Court that went to Lawton that was the house of our prisoners.
They classified my case as a federal case, and shit. When that happened, like it was 4th of July. I spent 4th of July, 1987 in D.C. jail. Now just imagine, right? I'm from New York. Me and my man my co-defendant, Black Jeff, right? We in DC jail. 2 New York dudes. Now, yo, look, man.
87.
In 87, right? Yeah, you understand. You understand, right?
87.
But yo, listen, it was cool though, man.
Because all the DC guys from the 70s that been gone the last 15 years, y'all fucking with the New York nigga. They couldn't fathom that. You know what I'm saying? So you over there coming.
There was an African that came through with gators and everything. I think they took him for bad, like y'all used to say, because he had been smuggling heroin from Nigeria and got caught or something. Yeah. But it was like, man, it was different. So anyway, I was over there. The experience was kind of wild because we was in front of the judge, man. And my man Black Jeff, I had just bailed him out in Richmond like 5 days earlier, right? And he had an open case in Augusta, Georgia. And the judge looked at us and she was like, you young men are exporting your crime all over this country. But here's the kicker, and ladies, excuse me, but Jeff looked at the judge in open court. And when she said that, he said, suck my dick.
What?
And yo, I'm like, yo, I looked over, I'm like, yo, how the hell am I in here with this fool? But what I didn't know at the time, I learned later, is that Jeff was bipolar.
He had mental illness.
Jeff was bipolar, had a Giadom's prescription. I had no idea, man. Like, you know what I mean? All I know, this was my man. He was a little wild, you know. And that's the other thing I learned about the hood, too. When we be saying that nigga crazy, it might be something to it. You know, he might not just be doing this for attention. Something might be off with him. But anyway, man, they made me have to check in New York at Cadman Plaza in Brooklyn every week to make sure I wasn't leaving New York. That was the terms of my bail. I stayed in DC jail about 2 weeks. I got bailed out. Jeff did not get bailed out because he had too much open things all over the place. But I got bailed out, and I had to check in with the feds like once a week so they could monitor my movements down there in Brooklyn at Cadman Plaza. So at that point, I was like, fuck school, you know what I mean? But to answer your question, though, the friends that I made in Hampton, it exposed me to a network of educated, upper-class black people. There were black people there whose grandparents had graduated from college. You know, like, nobody in my family had graduated from college, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was, yo, man, I thought the Cosby Show was some bullshit until I got to Hampton. Then I was like, oh, they really got people like this out here. You know what I mean?
And that's a unique observation because the same way there's a fraternity of family that graduate, when you go to jail, the grandfathers and the grandma, you know, they went to jail. They got a tradition of going to jail. Yeah. Tradition of being police and they're police, you know what I'm saying? So that's unique.
And in the military and all that.
Right, yeah.
See, and the thing is, right, we've allowed people to describe us and designate us this one thing, black. But we are not a monolith, right? There's so many different elements to blackness. You know, so I learned that and I appreciated it. And there's always been a thing about me where I could be different, be the outsider, but find acceptance among the new people. You know, whether it be school or whether it be here in DC or wherever. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I always had that. I always had that little gift with me, you know what I mean? So yeah, my current business partner in DC, in Southeast, is someone I met at Hampton. Yeah, 36 years later, man, 35 years later. Yo, bro. You know, and I would have never met this individual had I not gone to college. So college helped me not by giving me a degree, but by exposing me to a network that I would need to get to the next level in life. Because the network that I had, and don't get me wrong, they solid. I still got that network somewhat. You know, we just talk on the phone. We don't do nothing else, you know what I mean? But yeah, they still helpful in a lot of ways, but you need to have different types of people in your network. If everybody's doing the same thing, man, how y'all gonna really help each other? You know what I mean? Yeah.
And when you was in college, this you got real cool with a DC guy. You got real cool with a Baltimore guy.
Correct.
So you end up traveling both towns, basically.
Yeah,
Spend a lot of
I used
time
to
both
post
towns
up.
in both towns, right? So I'm curious to get your perspective because in this area, in the DMV area, you have a lot of misconception or conception about a DC guy and a Baltimore guy. What is your observation from, let me say, two hustlers, a hustler from DC, a hustler from Baltimore, and also a regular square civilian?
I mean, I hope nobody take offense to this, right?
Now, this is your perspective.
Right, yeah. I was in D.C. when it was the murder capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the pumpkin heads and all that.
Right.
You know,
Orange hats and all that.
yeah, I remember all of that because I was here. I was here for that, right? But I always felt safer here than in Baltimore for some reason.
Right.
And I'll tell you why, man. I'm definitely not trying to take nothing away from nobody. But I think like in D.C., I kind of understood the motivations a little bit better than in Baltimore.
Right.
To me, Baltimore, even to this day, has like a very kind of dark aura over it. You know what I mean? Like I just, the things that went on over there, man, it just was like, listen, I saw the bounty hunters coming, and this is on North Avenue down by North and Bradish, right?
Okay.
And I saw the bounty hunters, they were putting up pictures of somebody that I know that they was looking for.
Right.
And, yo, man, I seen the dudes in Baltimore open fire on the bounty hunters, bro.
Right.
Look, out of windows and off of rooftops.
Right.
I'm talking about the
got his ass out of there.
Look, one there that drove off without the other one.
Right.
They put up their little wanted posters like, have you seen this person? Man, like, I ain't never, look, man, I ain't never seen nothing like that nowhere. It's just different. They did things that didn't make, I don't know, it didn't have no real rhyme or reason to it. And when you're dealing with unpredictability like that, man, you know, you can't even apply your logic. You just got to be ready and hope that it rolls your way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dudes out there there was a dude, I ain't going to say his name, but him and a cop, they had this thing where they were stalking each other at nighttime, hunting each other. The cop ended up almost killing his ass. You know, he shot him multiple times. But he had intentions of shooting the cop. Like, yo, man, they'd be like, late at night, he'd be like, yo, they gonna motherfucker so. Yo, they were just looking for each other.
Right.
And yo, you know what I mean? Like this.
So a cop and a dude in the street beefing like two dudes on the street.
Yeah, a white cop too. You know what I mean? Yo, a white cop. And yo, they was stalking each other, and this dude almost got killed. Right. The cop caught him slipping. Gave him that work, yo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo. I mean, I just seen some different things in Baltimore, man. For real. And I've been in Philly too. You know what I mean? But everywhere that I've been, Baltimore is the place where I felt the most out of place. Even though I spent a lot of time there, I felt like in Baltimore, man.
So
like,
basically, because I know you said you're partnered with the mental health, so you saying that the mental health was off the hook, like the
Baltimore,
the mental health was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
The heroin, the everything, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's a unique perspective. I have a lot of good Baltimore, guys I met, and I always tell them, I say, man, y'all like all Southeast. You know what I'm saying? Like we got middle class here. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have. Some Southeast, some uptown, middle class, across the board.
And it's funny you mentioned that because back then when I was coming through here, I didn't go to Southeast. You understand what I'm saying? I would be more like, Northwest, pass through Northeast, like check a girl or something, but I had no reason to go to Southeast whatsoever. Nowadays, that's where I go, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so if I had saw Southeast, I might have had a different opinion of D.C., but I didn't see that side of D.C. back then.
But that's your perspective. I'm just trying to get the gauge from outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a friendly conversation amongst my peers that I fuck with in Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? But the young generation, they talk about it too far, the culture and the style and the rap and things of that nature like that, right? But we're going to take a break.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a road.